Hi dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Roots of Biology. In this channel, I am teaching biology syllabus for both CBSE and ICSE syllabus. For more videos, please do watch my channel, like, share and don't forget to subscribe my channel. So because if you subscribe, then only you will get a notification about my upcoming videos. Okay, let us move on to the topic. Okay, so I think in our previous video I was explaining you about the life processes like nutrition in animals, nutrition in plants, how respiration will take place, how digestion will occur. So today we come to our end of this topic, that is excretion. Okay, so you know that every organism undergo different life processes, right? So one such process is excretion. Excretion is nothing but elimination of the waste. So I think, are you interested to learn about this? Shall we move on to the next slide? Okay, come let us move on to the next slide now. Now let us try to understand about this excretion part. Okay, so excretion is a one such process. So I already told you it is helpful to eliminate the waste. So before that, let us try to understand the unicellular as well as multicellular species, how they eliminate the waste. So unicellular is nothing but single cell species, right? So here what happened, all the cells in direct contact with the environment here, and all the cells can easily get nutrient, and it eliminates the waste out by a process called diffusion. That will take place in unicellular species. And what about multicellular species? So in multicellular species we have a internal cells not in direct contact with the environment. Do we have any heart outside the body? Do you have any urinary system outside the body? No, it's present inside, right? So internal cells which is not in direct contact with the environment. So internal cells can't get nutrient in and waste out. That's why we need a particular organ system. So that is the major difference between unicellular excretion as well as multicellular excretion. So now let us try to understand what is excretion. So excretion is a process. What happen here? We eliminate the waste from the body producing during a metabolic activities, which is helpful to remove from the body. Suppose if any waste which is accumulated in the kitchen for more than a week, is it possible to tolerate those smell? It is very difficult to get it, right? So that's why we have to eliminate that waste from the kitchen. So that's why it will be then the kitchen is very clean. So like that our body, it need a particular system to eliminate the waste which has to be undergo a different metabolic processes. Okay, so let us try to understand this. So in unicellular organisms, I told you the waste products are removed from the cell into surrounding by diffusion. What about in multicellular organism? Waste products removed through a specialized organs or organ system. Come, let us try to understand about excretion in human beings now. Now let us try to understand about excretion in human beings. Before that, now let us try to understand what are the different organs it is helpful for this excretion process. So have a look at this picture now. So you can see here, children. So this picture you can see what are the organs of human excretory system. If I ask you that question, the answer should be, so we have a two kidneys, right? We can see here these are two kidneys, these are bean shaped, and we have another part called ureters, you can see here, and we have a urinary bladder. Okay, this particular part is called urinary bladder, and we have urethra. So these are the major parts of a human excretory system. So now let us try to understand the function of each part. First let us try to understand about the kidney. So these are bean shaped, as I already told you. So where it is located then? It is located on the either side of the backbone and are protected by ribs and muscles of a back. Okay, so that is the place where it is located. So next part is we have a ureters. You can see these are the pair of ureters. So these are thin muscular tubules called ureters comes out of each kidney. You can see here, and it carry urine from, what is the function of this? It carry urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Okay, so it will carry urine from kidney to the bladder. That is the major function of this. Let us move on to the another part called urinary bladder. So it is a sac like structure, you can see here. So that temporarily stores urine. It will store the urine temporarily and until micturition. Micturition is the elimination process of a urine from the body, is an expulsion, I can say, urine from the body, and then urine is carried to the bladder through the, it will carried through urethra. Okay, these are the major parts of a human excretory system. Now let us try to understand in detail about this in our next slide. Now let us try to understand about the very important part in our excretory system, that is kidney. So have a look at this picture now. So here the kidneys are the main organs, I already told you, of a human excretory system. So it has a, we have a pair of kidneys. Where it is located? It is located on either side of the backbone, and it is divided into three regions, you can see here. So the renal cortex, that particular part you can see here, this part is called renal cortex, which is the outer layer. Next we have a renal medulla. This part is called renal medulla, which is the inner layer. And lastly the renal pelvis, you can see, this particular part is called renal pelvis. And we have a what is the function of this renal pelvis? It will usually carry the urine from kidney to the ureter. Okay, that is the major function of this renal pelvis. This is regarding kidney. So you can see here, it's a real kidney of human beings. I think it is very nice to see. Let us move on to the next slide now. Now let us try to understand about the very important structure of a kidney, that is what we called as nephron. So I have made a mark over here. You can see this is what we call as a nephron. It is the functional unit of a kidney. It is, what is the function of this then? It is helpful for filtering blood and also helpful for forming urine. It mainly consisting of several structures, each with a specific function. Now let us try to understand about this. So the first part is called renal corpuscles. So it mainly consisting of glomerulus, as well as this is what we call as glomerulus, and also it has a cup shaped structure called Bowman's capsule. It is a network, you can see in glomerulus there is a network of capillaries with the blood filtration occurs here, and this Bowman capsule, it surrounds the glomerulus, and also it is helpful to collect the filtrate. Okay, the next part is, next to glomerulus you have another tubules, renal tubules. The first one is proximal convertile tubules, or is also called as PCT. So it absorbs essential substances such as glucose, amino acid, ions, and water from the filtrate back into the bloodstream, and it also secretes waste products into the tubular fluid. Okay, that is a major function of this, which is followed by loops of funnels. You can see here. It mainly consisting of descending and ascending limb, and it create a concentration gradient in the kidney medulla, and also it allow for the reabsorption of water as well as sodium ions. That is a major function of this. And descending limb is permeable to the water but not ions, while the ascending limb is permeable to the ions but not for water. So that is the major function of this loops of Henle. And the last part is distal convertile tubules. Distal tubules, you can see here. So it segment further regulate electrolytic balance by reabsorbing sodium chloride and calcium ions while secreting potassium and hydrogen ion into the tubular fluid, which is followed by collecting duct. So it mainly collects urine from the multiple nephrons and play a crucial role in water reabsorption and concentration of urine. So that is another important hormone, that is antidiuretic hormone, regulate the permeability of the collecting duct to water and influencing the urine concentration. So nephrons' primary function include filtration of blood to form urine, reabsorption of essential substances, and secretion of the waste products, and regulation of electrolyte and water balance to maintain the proper body homeostasis. Okay, that is the major function of these structure and function of this nephron. I hope you got it. Let us move on to the next slide. Have a look at this video. You can see the functions of kidney clearly. You can see how the waste get eliminated, how it is filtered in our body through particular parts like glomerulus, Bowman's capsule. Okay, you can see clearly here. So I hope you got it. Let us move on to the next slide. Now let us try to understand about urine formation, how urine is formed. It is very interesting topic to understand about this, right? Come, let us understand how this urine formation occur. As I told you, The first part is called filtration, or I can say glomerulus filtration, which is followed by reabsorption and secretion, and finally urine formation. So now let us try to understand one by one. The first one is glomerulus filtration. So here what happened, you can see here. So this particular part is called glomerulus. So here what happened, which serves as the location of blood filtration. So mainly it will filter the blood through the pushing of blood through its capillaries. Capillaries, whatever the capillaries will be there, right, it will push the blood. So later what happened, the blood passes through the filtration membrane of the glomerulus, and this is what we called as filtrates. Okay, so it mainly contain large cells such as proteins, and also the filtrate which passes through the, later it will passes through the Bowman's capsule. You can see here. So it will pass through the Bowman's capsule. So later what happened, and then to the proximal converted tube. Later from Bowman's capsule, later it will pass to the proximal converted tubules. So usually the glomerulus, it filtrates around 180 liters of blood. How many liters of blood it will filtrate? 180 liters. The next part is called reabsorption. So the filtrates, it contain essential nutrients, that is whatever the which is required for our body, and the waste that will be later eliminated from the body. So in order to reuse the essential substances in the filtrate, so this reabsorption process will take place. That is what we called as reabsorption. So here what happened, the process of reabsorption mainly take place in proximal converted tubules. This particular tubules, it is helpful for that reabsorption process. I hope you got it. Later what happened, essential substances such as water, glucose, electrolytes and amino acids are reabsorbed back into the blood. Then when the remaining filtrates will reach the, later it will reach the loops of Henel's. I already told you about this, right? So it will reach the loops of Henel. More selective absorption will take place here, and later the majority of the water is reabsorbed from the first portion of the descending limb and limbs of Henel's. Here the most of the absorption will take place, reabsorption will take place. So majority of the water is absorbed from the first portion of descending limb of the loop of Henel, while sodium, potassium, chloride are reabsorbed in the ascending limbs of the Henels. Got it? Loops of Henel, that is the major function of this. So the next part is, that is what we call as secretion. So when water along with the essential substances, I already told you, which is reabsorbed in the proximal converted tubules, secretion of hydrogen and water which take place at the same moment, along with that it will take place. So hydrogen ion have a role in balancing the pH of the blood. That is a major function of hydrogen ion. And the waste products are also secreted. Like what are the waste products which is secreted along with that? The waste products like creatinine, urea and uric acid is also get secreted here. So next part is urine formation. So remaining filtrates along with the waste products combine to form the urine. So urine makes its way for the collecting duct ureter, so to the urinary bladder, and is expelled from the urethra. So this is what, how the urine formation which occurs in our excretory system. I hope you got it. Now let us try to understand how excretion which take place in plant. So what happen in plant, the gaseous waste products which is produced during respiration in the form of carbon dioxide, and during photosynthesis oxygens are removed through the stomata. So this is one important process of excretion in plants. So excess waste is removed through the stomata. This process is called transpiration. I hope you got it. So we already studied about this. This is regarding excretion in plants. Now let us understand few more excretion process. Some waste products are stored in the leaves and removed when the leaves are dried and fall off. We know that dried leaves are fall off, right? So this is one part of excretion, which is followed by some waste products are stored in vacuoles of a plant body, and some waste products like gums and resins. I think you have observed in some plants, right, some trees, right, gum like structures which are stored in the old xylem cells, and some waste products are removed through the roots. This is regarding excretion in plants. Now have a look at this picture, how excretion which take place in a plant. So you can see latex. This is one part of excretion of a plant, and you can see how photosynthesis as well as transpiration process, it is helpful to eliminate the waste. That is what we called as excretion in plants. And we can see the dried leaves or which will fall off after few days. That is also one important process of excretion, and which is followed by, I told you, the stomata is very important to for gaseous exchange in plant. It is helpful for excretion process. We can say it is a transpiration. And we have, I told you, some trees it will produce latex, you can see. So these are the different way of eliminating the waste from the body of a plant. So you can see the latex is here, gum like structure, and transpiration process, how the plants eliminate waste from the body. That is what we called as excretion in plants. So have a look at this video, how excretion which take place in a plant. I explained you before. It's like I told you, it is helpful to understand better way. During gaseous exchange, it will eliminate dried leaves, it will fall off, and also it will produce a particular parts called, in trees you can see a latex will be produced, right? I hope you got it, whatever I explained you today. So let us continue with a new chapter in our next video. So I hope you got it. Please do watch my videos, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. It might be useful to many students. Thank you. Thanks for watching my videos. Wait for my next class with a new chapter. Thank you so much.